Hello again, and welcome to the zodiacal cycle system of Earth and the laws of the luminaries, part of our real Earthology that we observe clearly every day and night, known as the two-cycle system, and an incontestable proof, because some of us already know that the sun circulates us above, covering the face of the Earth during the daytime hours, and does not shine its magnificent rays from some 93 millions of miles away. The two cycles known to us by their names Cap and Can, hopefully you will have heard of them, also known as the two tropics of Capricorn and Cancer, to 6-month total opposition of temperature. And this is obviously said from my perspective here in the UK, as I am in the northern hem of the plane, the Tropic of Cancer. So in very simplistic terms, folks, let's start with the first cycle, or spring equinox. The clocks go forward. The saying is spring forward. Our days are longer than the nights because the sun reaches his culminating point of the year, widening each day and thus gets hotter and hotter each day. The heat which progressively increases each day as he moves in the spiral circle across the Earth, extending from the spring equinox March the 21st to September the 22nd, bringing the summer season Can. The second cycle, the autumn equinox, clocks go backwards. The saying is fall back. Nights are longer than days. The sun descends to the lowest point of the year, extends from the autumn equinox from the September the 23rd back around full circle to the spring in March. The second cycle corresponds to autumn and winter and the intensity of cold, which progressively increases, so gets cooler and cooler as the sun moves away from the UK during the coming weeks, gradually gets smaller as he moves in the spiral circle away, bringing the winter season to the UK and the surrounding countries. The winter solstice, thus the winter season, Cap. This then completing the full circle of our entire Earth land. There is no sunlight beyond 80 degrees south, but unknown regions of ice. So if it's summertime here in the UK, it's wintertime in Australia and New Zealand, summertime in New Zealand, wintertime in the UK. And it's the same for Argentinian and South African seasons also, and any of the others that are in that tropic of the plane dependent on the season. Precise seasonal order time. Law of the luminaries. All because the sun moves across the face of the Earth in the spiral circle, creating the very seasons and time zones of all the countries of our plain world all year round, corresponding to Cap and Can on the daily, weekly, monthly trajectory around the face of the Earth, like the face of a clock or a watch that you can set your time by it, or just check what time it is in that country. It's certainly not shining 93 million miles away down on you. The laws of the luminaries, according to their classes, their dominion and their seasons, places of origin and their months, all the laws exactly as they are, and how it is with regard to all the years of the world unto eternity. Contemplate all the events in the sky, how the lights in the sky do not change their courses, how each rises and sets in order, each at its proper time, and they do not transgress their law. The luminary, the sun, has its rising in the eastern portals and its setting in the western portals. There are 6 portals in which the sun sets and the moon rises and sets also, from the stars all following each other in accurately corresponding order. Each zodiac has 3-star constellations assigned to them, and also many windows to the left and right of the portals. But yet first goes forth the greatest luminary, and his circumference across or around the face of the earth. And this is just a sample. Now, Antarctica, as we know, the landmass, and certainly not any such of a continent, Grahamland, also known as, this very unusual place, has 6 months of daylight in its summer and 6 months of darkness in its winter. But not total darkness. Once the sun dips below the horizon, commencing sundown, there's that beautiful period of soft light where the sun is close enough to the horizon that the rays of the sun still illuminate the sky. And this, my friends, is what we call zodiacal light. There's a long extended period where it's just below the horizon within 6 degrees for maybe about 5 hours, even on the shortest day of the year. And this is the twilight. It's called zodiacal light. As stated earlier, friends, there is no sunlight beyond 80 degrees south, but unknown regions of ice. Now, in the helio-religion of the world, it might be hard to believe that the fictitious force gravity can be subject to whims of the changing seasons or from shifts in land and water on the ground. But it's very true. They actually say Earth's so-called gravity is indeed changed by both of these factors. So how does gravity explain the 2-cycle system? In all fairness, all of the variations in the lengths and days and nights from thousands of places, in all the different time zones on the Earth, in so many different countries and continents, if the so-called globed oblated ball is rotating at a constant uniform speed once in 24 hours. Try and let that sink in for a moment. At different heights of this fictitious ball belief, the mile an hour will actually increase or decrease dependent of the latitude or longitude. So as the rotation takes 24 hours to complete its full turn, and this constant uniform speed of 1,000 miles an hour at its equator, well, shouldn't all days and nights be identical and have an identical duration of 12 hours each all year round, as the sun would actually up and down or rise and set at the same hours, the same time, wouldn't it? However, we know that day and night do not result from a play of light and shade that is somehow caused by this utterly fictitious supposed turn of the Earth in 24 hours. Absolutely not. It is caused, it's produced by the arrival of the sun at his due time, and thus nighttime by the passage or disappearance of the sun, accompanied with zodiacal light. During its very real and observed and tested speed, measured at 1 degree per day, which is around 2,000 miles an hour, already been observed, tested, repeated many times over by many different scientists, because it's the truth. We have the constant 4 seasons, the 2 zodiacal cycles happening right in front of us every single year. The Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Capricorn, thanks to the geocentric Earth, with an electromagnetic circulating and spiraling, orbiting moon and sun. The sun we see rise in the east every morning and sets in the west every evening, having slowly moved across the face of the Earth. Hence why we can set the clocks, the watches, or you can even download the fantastic app for this truth. Facts, my friends, leave no room for doubt, which is a major fundamental problem with the helio-religion of the world, because there are no facts, just fakes. And speak of the devil, NASA's annual budget is over $23 billion a year. So if we were to add up all the other face agencies, and we're probably talking 50 billion. So what sort of a movie do you think we could make with that sort of bank? A very real Homer's Odyssey. But yet it only takes 30 billion to solve the world hunger crisis, according to the United Nations. Yet the two-cycle system, the laws of the luminaries, are incontestable, as the very first law is the sun spiralling and circulating above a geocentric, topographically flat Earth resting on the water. Yet the choice is yours, and yours only to make. I can only help plant that seed. It's you that needs to water it. Thank you for your precious time with me today. Much love to each of you on the other side of the screen, and giving you that very special good luck, as we all need a little bit sometimes, don't we? And I'll see you on the next one.